welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. We are live and Manchester is red. You may be thinking we've stepped into a DeLorean and taken it back to 2003, but no, we haven't. Manchester United are back. Carrick's at the wheel. Go and say it, Garth. Carrick's at the wheel. Carrick's at the wheel.
Yeah.
Well, I thought someone would be more enthusiastic than me. Do you know what I mean about this week? But maybe it's because Manchester United did Arsenal a favour and took points of Manchester City and nobody expected it. I didn't expect it. The Arsenal fans didn't expect it, but it happened. And when we went to City, did we give it to them? Did we show them what we're about? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. But then Everton did the job to stop Aston Villa from catching up on us. So the footballing gods were shining down on Arsenal this weekend. What a weekend it was. A weekend of action-packed entertainment. Not only that, did anyone catch the AFCON drama? I'm telling you now, yeah. I'd have been frog marched out of there because I would have weighed in those ball boys. The moment they started gripsing hold of me, grabbing the towel, 3 of them on. I watched 3 against 1. 15, 15, and 15. That's 45 to me. Bang, bang, bang. That's enough. I would not be having it. I got to give it to the Senegal second keeper because he held his own. He done it the professional way. No blows were thrown. He ran off, ducked and dived. Me, I'm built different. I'm the angry goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm third goalkeeper. I'll take that spot because I'm there as like / security / entertainment / second or third captain. That's what I'm about. Do you know what I mean? But I rough people up. But he done well. There was drama and justice was prevailed in the end. Although I did not agree with Senegal leaving the pitch. Didn't agree with that. But Sadio Mane held it strong, kept it professional, got back on the pitch, and they won the game. We're going to be discussing all football tonight. And of course, we're going to be discussing the Arsenal and Manchester United. I'm joined by Steve K, our transfer guru. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, good, mate. Very good. It's a struggle to get here tonight. A bit of backache, but a bit of neck ache, but struggle to get here. So you dare to do, as the famous logo saying goes.
Yeah, the one that don't make sense.
Where'd they get that from? Tottenham, dare to do. Where'd they get that one from? Right,
what is it to dare to do, is it? Dare
to do. But what do they dare?
But does
they don't dare and they don't do.
Yeah, is to dare to do. Does that even make sense? Maybe someone in the comment section can let me know what the logic of that saying is. Because in my head, off the top of my head,
they do neither, do they? And,
it makes no sense.
Great result for the West Ham the weekend. Lovely.
Great result for the West Ham, which left Tottenham fans in dismay. And I think universally all calling for Thomas Frank to go. When you lose to West Ham, when you lose to Chelsea, when you lose to Arsenal, and then you're seen wearing an Arsenal cup, drinking from an Arsenal cup, and praising Arsenal as a Tottenham manager, they're not going to like it. And then if the results ain't going their way, it's the written on the wall, really. Yeah. They've got their own problems. Gar, nice. Thank you for joining us tonight.
No, it's a pleasure. Pleasure as always. You know,
of course. Man United won, and not only won, they beat the noisy neighbours. Little city. So,
just on a brief one on that, a brief aside. Did you see that stupid thing Sky Sports were doing? Because that Steve,
what was that?
The box. Did you see it, Steve?
Yeah. I'm surprised you got involved in that.
What's football coming to? Because someone tell me what football's coming to now, where you're just sitting in a box.
Yeah, missing the derby.
And they're throwing you a few bits here and there.
Game's gone.
Yeah, like his excuse, he keeps saying he's paid for my season ticket. I'm like, yeah, but you missed. I mean, obviously Man City lost, so he's probably happy as Larry about it. But the Man United fans in there as well. Was it KG was in there? The girl off the United stand. Like, I don't understand. I can't bend my head around it whatsoever. I don't understand why anyone would want to watch it, let alone why they'd do it. It's one of the most stupid, nonsensical things nonsensical things that anyone's ever done. Like, where's the entertainment value? There's none. Like, I watched a little bit of it. It's weird, like really weird situation that is. So yeah,
what they get fed little bits.
Yeah, you get stills. So like they had the still. I mean, we'll get into the game, but like they at half time they got stills of the match. And they had to like discuss what they thought the game was actually going to be, and that like you had one of the Man City fans like, see, Pep only drinks from that bottle when we score. So let's run you up, and you're like, what? Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous. But I mean, listen,
it's that Fansly, isn't it, Garth? Is that
what it is? The Fansly, is the Sky Sports Fansly thing? Yeah.
Well, they've paid like so much money into not about billions, but quite a lot of money into Fansly, haven't they? Which is owned by Michael McIntyre, isn't it?
Yeah, and Gary Neville.
Yeah. It's a way to get in the reaction from the fans. They want that piece of the pie, don't they? They want that fan media side of things.
Innovation does my nut in, because they had the perfect thing 20 years ago. It's when they had the two fans commentating on the game, and that is some of the best entertainment you'll ever see for fans. They
show them every now and again, don't they? They're actually quality, especially like the Liverpool and Everton ones. Like they're brilliant. The derbies, they're really, really good.
They're quality. So they don't need. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail the conversation, but I couldn't believe it.
It's but it's like, I know what you mean. It's like we all listen to fans every day of the week, don't we? Do you know what I mean? But now when we turn on Sky, like we all used to respect Sky, we love Sky. You know, we pay our subscriptions and stuff, and now we're going, onto these things, and we're listening to like stupid fans talk about football. I have enough about stupid talking fans in the pub. I don't want to see what
to be fair, they can't even give any commentary on it though. That's the problem with it, Steve. Like there's nothing they can do apart from it's just 6 people in a box, like doing nothing for 2 hours. Like honestly, I don't know who come up. Like, I know it's saying to the fans and everything, but whichever marketing or media person came up with that idea, sacked tomorrow.
Are there actually like people watching it?
I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
I presume that it's filmed on YouTube and it's on. I presume. I don't know. The bits I saw
watching it.
Well, I don't know. People are weird. But what I do know is that at the end of the game, or at half time, they're shown stills and they have to like think what that means, and then at full time they have Roy Keane going, "It's 2-0." And then even that bit was winding me up. It took them like 4 minutes to get to the scoreline. It's to Manchester United, and then they celebrate.
It's all about suspense, isn't it? It's all about suspense.
Weird, but listen. If they offered me the money, maybe I'd do it as well. Sky, if you're listening, I ain't saying I ain't going to be on there. I ain't saying that. You know what I'm saying?
I'll see you next week. I just understand. Box. Going like that, just turning around to the camera, saying like, "Sorry, lad," but.
Just see some weird breaking news. Not really breaking news. Brook Norton-Cuffy has had interest from Newcastle, Everton, and West Ham, and they're looking for around a 20 million fee. I'm telling you what, Arsenal need to fix up on that. It was only at Arsenal a season and a half ago, on loan to someone. So we will get compensation because he was with us before 23. So but still another one. Murray Hutchison, Brook Norton-Cuffy. We've got to start making money from these. So all right, back to the main event. Manchester United against Manchester City. Garth, after you spoke to me on Saturday, the words that Gary Neville kept on repeating was giddy, which is exactly what you was on Saturday. And I wasn't gonna ruin it. So how give us a breakdown of the game.
You say you weren't going to ruin it. You tried with that Michael Carrick video on TikTok, mate. You tried. So I don't want to make none of nonsense
for you, but if you saw it as collateral damage.
I mean, listen, fantastic performance. The game, best performance from Man United in years in a big game. Absolutely outplayed Man City, man for man, every inch of the park, won every ball. I think Man City had one shot on target. But literally, you know, I mean, Lamins wasn't. Although I've heard it's Lemons. Someone told me this the other day. It's Lemons apparently, but Lemons was not troubled one inch at any moment. I think there was the header from the young Man City goalkeeper. Apart from that, first to every ball, stronger in every tackle, passing was crisp. And listen, I was upset that we sacked Amorim, so I've got to be. Like, I don't want to get too overblown, but it does make his system, like I always said, look ridiculous by playing Bruno outside of the 10. In the 10, Bruno is one of the best in the world in his position, one of the best in the world in his position, and that's one of the main reasons that we performed so well. Maguire and Martinez locked up Haaland tight. Like Man City weren't great. There's the other thing. We can't get too over. Man City were not at the races. They were not there. But performances. I mean, what you saw is a man who's in character who's come in and drilled them on beating Man City. Basically, set up to counter everything that Man City brought at you. Midfield. We were lucky because Pep played 2 AMs and Rodri on the sole pivot. It didn't work. Casemiro and Mainu again locked up their midfield. Mainu is something to prove. Went out there, done a fabulous job. Really, right, showed why he was so highly regarded with his performance there. But yeah, fast play, fast transitions, winning the ball, getting it out to our speedy players on the flanks or through the middle with urgency. Players running with desire. I mean. There's not much. There was no negatives from Man United in that game. You know, no negatives whatsoever. Could have been 6 or 7. In reality, had 3 goals disallowed. One of which, the Mason Mount one, I'm still like, oof, that's tight. I don't know about that one. That's a toenail. I'm never happy with the toenail ones. Two woodworks as well. So absolutely ecstatic. Can't get too excited though. I've seen false dawns for the last decade. We've got you boys next. That'll be the performance, win or lose. What I need to see is Man United putting in a performance against you boys. I need to see the same desire, the same passion from the players, the same want, you know what I mean, to get to the football first, the same want to be in the box first, the same want to beat a man. And then we can go. Like I've seen a lot of people talking about Carrick, whether he should get the job too early. If we get to the end of the season and we make Champions League, I don't think it's unrealistic to say, yeah, give him a year. You know what I mean? Give him a 2-year deal. I don't want to hear 5 or 6 years, you know what I mean? Nothing like that. But let's see what he does with a transfer window. But at this moment in time, he's still the interim. There's no doubt in my mind that Man United are looking at more experienced and more elite level managers. But if he gets the job done over the next 4 or 5 months, I wouldn't be devastated. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? If he ends up getting the contract, so
it's a tough one. It's a tough one because if you get to the end of the season, you get into a Champions League spot, or even if you just miss out on that and you get your Europa League spot, it would have felt like he deserves an opportunity. But is there a long-term vision with that? Is that what you want long term, or is it you thinking it's a stopgap until you get the man you want? But what if the man you want at the end of the season is available?
But this is the thing. I don't know who is available, and what I mean, it's not about long term vision now. And not Europa League. If we get Europa League, it's not good enough. Amorim was in Europa League position when he got sacked. And let's get this point right as well. Yes, it was a great performance. Yes, we won against Man City. I'm still not having the idea that Ineos knew what they were doing when they sacked Amorim.
Yeah,
just if that makes sense. I'm not having it. Like
it's
no,
into place. And I think Jason Wilcox is very lucky this morning. Can breathe a sigh of relief after that performance.
100%. Listen, it was a great performance. Is it a long-term vision? Clearly not, because we've outright said it's not. We've outright said we're looking for other managers. We've outright said that he's only interim. So no, but I'm at that position now that I don't know who's out there. And if what I'm trying to say, if Carrick's built a rapport with this team, if Carrick's done enough to get us into, and it has to be Champions League in my mind, to get us top 4, get us into the Champions League, I don't see why we would want to rip up that bit of confidence in the squad to bring in another gaffer, especially when the names we're talking about are Emery, Glasner. You know, I mean, it's not. I don't even know who's about anymore in the world-class slot of managers, to be quite honest with you. People talk about Zidane, but absolutely not. It's like Xavi Alonso. I don't want 5 at the back again. Same with Glasner. That's why I don't want Glasner. I don't want 5 at the
Did
back.
he play
So,
5 at the back with Madrid?
I don't think he did, to be fair, but still, like that. Considering he's got sacked, you can imagine that's he'll want to fall back on that. And Man United at the moment have a squad that's built for 5 at the back. So yeah.
I think his main concern was I think his main concern was the lack of respect that he was receiving from the players and the lack of backing he was getting to make those to instill his discipline in the squad.
Yeah. I don't know much about Xabi Alonso either, to be quite honest with you. I know he went unbeaten with Leverkusen. I don't watch German football. I don't know his style or what sort of manager he is. And that's what I'm saying. I don't see any prime candidate out there. You know what I mean? An Ancelotti, you know what I mean? Like, who's going to come in and take the job, a Pep level manager. I don't see it, you know what I mean? Unless I take Klopp just to laugh at Liverpool. Not because I think he's elite, but just because it'll make me happy, you know what I mean? But yeah, look, fantastic performance. One game though. Let's see how we go. A lot of Man United fans are very excited, as we should be. Like, very excited though over the last couple of days, talking about some nonsense, title challenges, talking about cup runs.
This season?
Yeah, don't.
No
mate,
way. No way. No.
It's all caveated, isn't it? It's like, I'm not saying that we're in a title challenge, but if we go 18 unbeaten, you know what I mean? Like, if we go 18 unbeaten, so yeah, silliness. But yeah, we're very excited, very happy with the performance. That's
I got to look at this table. I'm thinking, how far behind us are you?
Man United fans, look, this is what Man United fans pay their money to see at the end of the day. Good football.
15 points off.
Yeah, exciting football. And goals and points. So yeah, wonderful weekend for Man United, as it was for you boys, obviously. So
yeah, I mean, even if Arsenal win at the moment, you can guarantee, unless it's perfect, someone will find something. And even when the performances were good and we won, people would point out one of the players that wasn't on the bench and didn't get an opportunity because they were on the bench.
Listen, Arteta's not getting the most out of Gyökeres and Eza. So even if you do win the treble this year, I think you should get the sack, to be quite honest with you. If he can't get the best out of those players, I mean, what can I say?
even more, I'm gonna double down on that. If Arsenal win the league the way they've won it, it's gonna feel empty, and it's like not even winning the league.
You're not even the best team. You're just the worst team.
We're the best worst team.
Yeah.
The best worst team. I mean, put that on the title. Put that on the Premier League title. The best worst team in the Premier League. Steve, Man United versus Man City. Surprised at the result or the performance?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because I mean, I've said for a long while when Man United fans, you know, when they come up against the Liverpool and Man City, Arsenal, we're going to get thrashed 5-0. We're going to get thrashed. But Man United generally turn it on. They do. They do turn it on, and they'll turn it on next week against Arsenal. They will. I ain't got no doubt about it at all.
Yeah, that's why I'm a bit worried about that one.
That they'll turn it on, mate. They'll turn it on. So, but just literally because when I watch it, they always do. Anyway, but so yes and no, surprised, but more surprised about the performance because they just literally just blew City away. Garth's already, gone through it. He's praised every player, and rightly so. They literally was excellent. The football, watching them was enjoyable. The way they were passing it around, and you was getting. You even got to a point where you was getting like Harry Maguire playing 40-yard balls and things like this. They was taking the piss.
The confidence was up, wasn't it, Steve? The confidence was.
Mate. Yeah.
Did anyone impress you? Like, totally impress you? That doesn't usually impress you on the pitch. That surprised you with the performance.
I mean, most of them players can, I know for a fact, can on their day can step up, and I suppose this is when it all comes down to getting the right manager in, to getting this level of, performance out of them. Because I've seen a lot of them stand up for it from before. Ahmed, was good. He was playing in a position that we're used to. He was dangerous. Bruno again. We know he's good, and he was fantastic. And I mean, even Cunha when he came on, when he had his little cameo, I thought he did really well. So it was like the confidence that through the others, the subs were coming on, and they was just taking over, and they was just it wasn't making any difference. I thought Maguire, you've already mentioned Maguire, Martinez, thought that was brilliant. But I was chatting a little bit to Garth during the game. I just think Casemiro's just he's gone again. Someone just way up in my estimation. Not that he never was. We always knew what he was at Madrid, and we knew what he was a couple of seasons in United. He's dropped off, but yeah, I said to Garth, if he had legs now, this guy would be like worth 100 million still. He was like, there was a lot of, I was watching the game and I was seeing Neville's and that, and they was praising this player and that player. And I was getting quite frustrated that they wasn't praising Casemiro. And I was going, are you seeing what this geezer does? And I think 5 minutes before the end, I actually messaged Garth and said, wow, Gary Neville 5 minutes before has now actually praised Casemiro for having a good game. He's been brilliant in the whole match, and that quite annoyed me. But I suppose he's just one of them players who he was always there when he meant to be. He was cutting out balls when he meant to, putting in tackles when he wanted to be. He was popping up, inside the box, causing problems. Just was an all-round and again, even as an Arsenal fan and as a neutral, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed watching it.
What was it?
And yeah, so. Yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. Not 9 out of 10. Not just a 10 out of 10 performance. And
there's no faults. There's no flaws in that game. I just quickly say that the one thing that did surprise me, fair play, Carrick shows bravery, not starting Cunha or Sesko. Sesko on a 3-game scoring run. Cunha having played all through while Ahmed and Mbeumo was away. So fair play to him for making. That's a big call as a brand, as an interim coming in. Benching two of the brand new signings, so fair play to him there.
And what did Carragher say? Leave the football before football leaves you. Is that the football's not quite left Casemiro then yet?
Well, about Casemiro, this is just what I mean. We all say that footballers know more than us. I've always said, I talk to a lot of footballers. Some of them do know things, some of them don't. Believe me, they don't know it all. Believe me, I've spoken to a few of them who have played the game.
A bold statement to say about.
And that's Nathan. I'm not talking about you, mate. Right, you're one of the good ones. If you're watching this, you're one of the. I'm talking about others.
Stating right now.
I'm writing the article right now. Steve K calls out the Duke for knowing nothing.
No, I'm putting it one side.
West Brom striker Nathan Anton called out by Steve K.
No. Definitely not Nathan. Not Nathan.
No.
But again. Someone I didn't mention, Luke Shaw. Do you know what? I've loved that player for years. You knew that. I think you was all shocked like 3-4 years ago when we did a Premier League, and I said Luke Shaw, part of that because I just love him. Do you know? I just love that type of defender. I love that type of. If he played like that, every 4-5 games out of 10, 3 games out of 10, he'll be our left. He'll slot right into that England left back still.
Is he not playing centre back?
Sorry?
No, left back. He was playing left centre back in the 3, but he was playing left back against Man City. Yeah, he's a left back. Yeah. I don't like him at centre back. I don't like him at centre back.
He's not got like legs like he used to have, but he's got legs.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can say he's never been since he had his double leg break. He's never had the rapidness that he had before that. He's never been. Yeah. No. So just quickly on Casemiro. The thing with Casemiro, there's no two ways about it. His standards dropped for a good 18 months. He had a great first year. He had a great first year, but the last 12, he's really come back to the forefront. Yes, and I don't know whether it's a bit of just some football, like his football IQ for the Premier League's grown, and now he knows what to do, what position to be in to intercept that football instead of just being. But his passing is, it's incredible. And at 33, he's got another year in him. I'd keep him for another year personally.
He's well,
but we still need.
We know.
Yeah. But we still need others. But listen. Sorry, Steve. No, I didn't know more to say. Go
on. Right, I was just going to go and tell my little, personally, what I think about Carrick. What they should do with him. I mean, this again. Look, I'm not a Man United fan. Don't watch him every week. I'm not as, I don't know nowhere near as much as what Garth does about him. But personally, for me, with Carrick, because of the experience I've had with Arteta. I'd give him a job. I'd give him the job. Not obviously if you sort of went backwards, you ended up, say, 13th, 14th of no. If you finished around, if Man United finished around the 7th or the 8th place, and it was like, yeah, okay, and the football looked better and you could see some kind of progress, then I would be, I don't think any of us would do this, but I'd give him a 2-year contract just due to the fact that, mainly because of what we've been through, Kears, with Arteta, and they're similar, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Same age, not great experience.
Yeah.
Know the club. And Carrick comes across to me as someone who's a football man. He knows football. Arteta is someone who knows Arsenal, knows football. Carrick knows Man United, knows football. I'd be inclined to give him a chance, to really give him a chance, because like Garth said, there's not that really many people out there, and United have tried a lot of different things, and they haven't worked. So,
Yeah.
if I was sitting in the boardroom, I'd be like, look at what Arteta's done. Let's give him 2-3 years, and let's just leave him alone. But unlikely Ineos would do that. But he gives, what can I say? To me, he gives off this aura as like, yeah, I like you. There's something about you. Because
and
he's managed before, and he won 3 games before, didn't
well. He had that when he played as well. He was a very calm midfielder. He wasn't one of them ones that's like rushed in. He was the composed, deep line playmaker, and he's got that sort of calmness persona. What I would say, is I know you're saying about the 8th, but the Ineos sold getting rid of Amorim as trying to, I'm not really sure these words, but verbatim, to preserve the good position that we've got in now and essentially progress in the Champions League. That's what Garth's saying. If they don't get their Champions League, they have got that decision wrong, because it did feel like with 3 points off of where Amorim is, off the top 4, that although the football wasn't necessarily what people liked, there was progression, and that's the sort of progression that I spoke about that we had with Arteta. And I actually said that he was ahead of Arteta in terms of progression, considering he came from 17th or 15th season before, and at that point this season he had a 47% win rate, whereas Arteta in that first half of that second season, it was dicey. Trust me, it was dicey. Up until the 19th of December, we'd won 3 games and drawn 2. Like 5 games where we didn't lose in the first half of the season. That's rough. That is relegation fodder. So, if he's not getting to those levels, I don't know whether it's the right decision to give him that contract.
But that's why I said that Ineos won't do it. I did like.
It's not the right decision, man. It's not. The thing with Carrick won't do it. The thing with Carrick, I looked into his time at Middlesbrough. He got unlucky. They sold a lot of their best players. I don't think he's expensive is the wrong word. I don't think he's got the chops for a long-term project at Man United. I think it would be a nice... Listen, if we get in the Champions League, I think it's fair to give him the 2-year deal. I really do. But if I've got a feeling that his style can be quite easily countered. I've got a bad feeling that it's going to be a new manager bounce, and then when people learn what he's up to.
A few points after it, Garth. What if you didn't finish in Champions League?
I think there's got to be a line, Steve.
I think at the end of the season, you'd look at it, wouldn't you? You'd think, all right, we didn't get in Champions League, but what are we? Oh, okay, we're 4 points behind in Champions League. We were 17th, 16th last year. Amorim's gone, pressure on Carrick, and he's coming, he's done bloody all right. So,
is there pressure on Carrick? Is there pressure on Carrick?
To me, he looks calm. That's one of the main reasons why.
But at the moment, Carrick knows he's gone. That's what I'm saying. That's what Keir's saying. There's no pressure on him. It's all. What can I? Yeah, it's all. I mean, of course, there's pressure. He's Man United manager at the end of the day. But what I mean is, there's no pressure. His job isn't at stake. What he's doing is trying to impress. I don't think personally, and I could be very wrong here, but I don't think he's got it. I don't think he's got the tactical nous or the management ability to be a manager that can keep managers, keep other managers on their toes. Now, to be saying that, from what I read about him at Man United last time, when I remember he'd actually played 3 different formations. He beat Liverpool, he beat Arsenal, and he drew with Chelsea. And now he's going to beat Man City. He's played 5 games as Man United manager, won 4. 3 of those teams being Chelsea.
2 wins and a drawing last time, was it?
He drew with Chelsea, beat Liverpool, beat Arsenal, beat Villarreal, and now he's just going to beat Man City. So he's played 5 games as Man United manager. This is what McCullough was saying. And of those, 3 of them he's won against Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. So, I know you're saying, Steve, if it's only a few points, the problem I've got is there has to be it's not a problem. There has to be a line somewhere in the there has to be a line somewhere in the sand where you say, this is where you get your contract, this is where you don't. And I think Champions League, especially now as we're in it, 5th place being Champions League spot more than likely come the end of the season without all the English teams are doing. We're in it now. Anything less than Champions League, I don't think it's enough for us to rip up the plans of bringing in another long-term project of a manager. Just because he's done that. But again, it really comes down to I know it's saying, and obviously it's all hypothetical. It comes down to the performances. It comes down to what we see over the next few months, how we perform against teams, how the players respond to his training, are the players improving on the pitch, etc., etc. You know how it is. You know what I mean? But I don't see him as an Arteta. I don't see him as a long-term project personally.
Yeah, I'm looking at his Middlesbrough career. 67% win rate in his first season. I think 40 something in his second season, and similar in his third before he got the sack. That may tie into a little bit of what you're saying. What might work short term, but long term, are people that are more experienced than him going to find out what his actual way of playing and what his tactics are?
I think Man United have been down so many different roads, aren't they?
But this time they have to get the right road. That's what I'm saying. They have to get it right this time.
So it can't be.
You've got to take all emotion out of it. Go on.
No, I was going to say, again, this is only personal thing. Do you know what I mean? Because maybe there's a lot of what I've seen with Arsenal and what they've done with bringing in like a manager who's never managed before and got us to where we are. So there's a lot of that in my head swaying around. Do you know what I mean? And if you've got Man United, the names are. I mean, Thomas Frank was a massive, come really close to going to Manchester United. I mean, look at him at the minute. You know, he's proving that he can't seem to manage it. But although it's a lot to do with Spurs, he's having trouble. I don't think. Look at Glasgow. I don't think he's the man for Manchester United. And to be honest with you, I don't think Areola is.
Areola might be a problem as well. If he doesn't,
and then you're looking outside the box, and then you're looking at who else is there.
Nagelsmann.
Then you're looking at the Nagelsmanns, the Xavis, and probably the Pochettino. Probably the most likely. But they have been down that road before with these type of managers. So,
but we've also been down the road with the ex-player football man. You're going to Solskjaer.
I think it's do you know what it is, Garth? Do you know what it is? I think he's just.
You like the cut of his jib, Steve. Yeah, I get it. You like the cut of his jib, mate. Definitely.
I like his aura on the touch. I think he looks the part. He looks like when he's
the other problem Man United got
conducts himself.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
The other Man United got, and rightly or wrongly, and this isn't honestly ain't no dig at all. No Man United managers getting 5-6 years no trophy. No, it just isn't happening. And I honestly, I know it sounds like I'm taking the piss. I'm not. I'm being deadly serious. Man United managers got 2.5, 3 years, and if they ain't winning things, they're gone. Period. And that's the big problem. Big problem.
Garth, and kids, isn't it time that Man United say to themselves,
"Oh, I agree.
we want to be in the champ. We want to be talked about as top Champions League club again. We want to be talked about as one of the teams challenging." That are guaranteed top 4 every year, not fighting for it, like pushing for the title in 2-3 years. So are the cups like a little bit? We all want to win cups, of course we do. But isn't it time that Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, biggest club in the country, are where they should be? And
the problem you got there, Steve, is the problem you got there is you're talking about football fans having common sense, mate. And it just, you know what I mean? Listen, that's what I mean. I get you, and you know me. I agree with you. I feel like the next manager, whoever it is, needs 3 years minimum of no pressure on them. This is your job, like build, do an Arteta, and then let's face it, after 3 years, the next season, it was no one saw it coming, but you were challenging for the league after that. You know what I mean? And I think that's acceptable. But I
think whoever comes into Man United, it's head coach with a view to being the manager, because Man United don't just need a head coach. That's just a hated phrase, but papering over the cracks. They get a head coach in who starts winning, but everything's crumbling around you. You need someone in there that's going to go, okay, this ain't good. We need to get in someone, like, we need to rebuild this and remake this a proper team. The Carrick situation, I get it, but yeah, there's big risks there, and I think it's more in line with what you're talking about in terms of he may be found out. And then when we talk about the Artetas and the, I look at that, and I also look at the schooling that he's had, the schooling that Maresca's had under Pep. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These boys haven't had the same. Carrick's not had that. He's not had that where he's been under the wing of a top manager we can learn and get involved. Is like who was he working under? Well, he got a Solskjaer.
Oh, so you mean manager, don't you? I thought you meant when he was a player. I'm like, brother, he was
no. I mean manager. It was there next to him.
Yeah, Ollie.
Yeah,
Ollie. But apparently it was a 3-man team, weren't it? It was McKenna, him, and Ollie. And although Ollie was the face, it was apparently them three were the thing. Listen, I'm not. As I say, if we do well with him, Steve, and I agree, even if it's a few points of Champions League, I'll go that far with you as well. And then we sign him up for another 2 years. I'm not going to be gutted, but I don't think he's got it in it. And I would like to see. For me, it's Nagelsmann. That's who I want. I've wanted him for a while. I wanted Tuchel before that, and we didn't get Tuchel, obviously. But I get it. If we bring Nagelsmann in, or someone like that, a Poch, whoever it is, it has to be with a long-term vision to not. As long as we don't get relegated, you're not getting the boot. You know,
and they have to be given control, Garth, as well.
And that's what Keir's saying. That's exactly what Keir's saying. Exactly what saying. They have to be given. Yeah, they have to be allowed to come in. And listen, I'm not saying they've got to be given the keys to the castle, but if they want the youth team revamped, if they want the scouting team to be taken apart and revamped, if they want they have to be allowed that. You know what I mean? Within reason, obviously. So
and you've got to earn that. You've got to earn that.
Exactly.
Don't just get it straight away. You earn it. So when Tuchel turns around and says he wants full control, like, Man United were well within their right to turn around and go, no, you don't. But what we can do is we can give you a 2-3 year contract, where if things go right, we'll make you the manager because we believe in your vision of what this club can be. Yeah. And for me, even if I'm going short term, it's an Ancelotti. It's someone who's experienced and been there before. If it's not Carrick who's got him into the Champions League, but long term, I think it's them three. Off the top of my head, it's them three. Tuchel, if he finishes it with England, Nagelsmann, and Pochettino's currently with America as well.
It's with Germany as well. Isn't it? That's what I mean. It does feel like, it's going to be are they winning?
Whoever does shit in the World Cup, Man United snapping up.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny.
Luis Enrique is available as well. I don't know much about Luis Enrique, obviously. Like I said, Xavi Alonso is available. There are names floating about in the ether right now. You know what I mean? But
it's the season to bring in a big name manager. And there'd be a lot of managers around.
Yeah, I suppose that's the other thing you could say, though, Steve. As well, I agree. I am agreeing with you. I know what you're saying. If he does well enough, maybe. But is it also a case of there's all these managers about? Do we just have to get that Wise available? You know what I mean? Do we have to get the Poch Wise available? Do we have to get the Nagelsmann Wise available? No matter how.
They probably would know. They must know now. I would have thought with all the managers, like you said, with all these managers available, I'm sure they must know who they want.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure. I think conversations are being had as well.
Yeah, because it ain't behind closed doors. Yeah. And this will be the making or breaking of Ineos as a serious football team at Man United. Like Keir said at the start, they've got to get this one right. You know what I mean? We can sit here pontificating about who and who gets it, who should get it. This is them now. They've got to, like this estimate. They've got 4 or 5 months to really drill down into who they want, why they want him, and who's going to fit. If they come up with Carrick, look, listen, I back my managers. You know what I mean? I won't be delighted, but fair play. But they've got to get it right, because we can't have us on this show 14 months down the line where I'm like, yeah, we're starting again.
Yeah,
here we go again. You know, it's yeah.
And see what is important as well, that they get that manager, sporting direct. So Wilcox, Barada, manager, head coach, whatever you want to call it, relationship right, because that's so important. Because if they start getting at loggerheads over signings and who's coming in and this, that, and the other, then. You know,
and that's the thing long term. So when we talk about, okay, you're head coach now, that's where you got to bite your tongue. The moment you're manager, if that ain't working, that's where you have the powers to be going to the owners and the powers that be and say, look, this ain't working with him. I've got a vision and his ain't matching, and it's not. We ain't clicking. It's going to derail. He's now the manager. He has a bit more power in what goes on in that position there. Because it's his job, it's his baby now. So
that's another one that shows. Say again.
I think Tuchel and Poch, those two, just in particular, want a lot of say in what they do.
Yeah, well, that's how we fumbled. That's how we fumbled Tuchel, because he was going to come, and then we were like, no, you can't. But that again, it comes down to Ineos proving that they can do this job, because it does feel like, from what Aaron said, is that he was sold a dream about what he was going to be allowed to do, and it weren't happening. So that's when they've got to make sure the man they're bringing in, exactly what you're saying, Steve, that relationship is, no, you were told early doors that this is your role. Like he's saying, in a couple of years, if you prove yourself to us, we'll give you more responsibility. You'll be allowed to do more of this and that. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean. It comes down to...
That's what they did with Arteta.
That's what I'm guessing.
And then eventually they... gave him a bigger role.
But he earned that. He didn't get it straight away. He earned it. And then 3 managers that we spoke about there, they are 3 managers that need that power. They need to be able to get in the players they want. It needs to be the environment they want. Otherwise, it will not work. You can't get in any of them 3 without doing that. Otherwise, it'll be pointless.
It needs to work for the manager. They have to work for the coach. They do have to work for him, which is, again, sorry, I know we need a bit, but they need to work for the coach, unlike what it felt like under Amorim, where they were buying players that they thought were for the good of the team, not for the good of what Amorim was trying to do. So,
Just long run,
I will say, it's going to be interesting.
One thing I will say is that I totally believe in Amorim and everything he says when he came out of that interview, that he was, I think you said he was sold a lie. I believe that he was.
Yeah.
That he was sold a lie. I don't think he's come out with there to get the sack. Do you know what I mean? Well, he may have wanted the sack, but I do believe that he was sold a lie, at the beginning. And then halfway through, Wilcox or something, when decided to get a bigger ego than he's already got and have a bigger say in the dressing room what he already got.
When you hear things like, I used to be a coach, so I just want to get involved, can't help myself. It's like, excuse me? Was that? I don't want to hear things like that ever again.
Don't ever want to hear that
again. Arsenal had an opportunity to just widen the lead to 9 points this weekend, and did they take it? Did they? Because this season is the Arsenal way. They went to the City Ground, and it was a very, 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 I don't know. At points, I saw 96% possession. But it doesn't mean anything if you're not really having shots. And did they have opportunities? Yeah, they had opportunities, but it wasn't that many opportunities for a 97% game, although that was like 10, 15 minutes. But still, I just don't feel like they capitalised enough. I don't feel like they created enough, or they did create enough to win the game and should have won the game. I just felt like City were there for the taking. They really were. They there to sit in deep, soak up the pressure, and potentially hit us on the break, but not really, because I think they left Igor Jesus in and around the halfway line, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, they left him around the halfway line as well. Other than that, they were no danger, didn't have a shot on target, 0.02 or something, 0.2 XG. Yeah. But once again, Arsenal failed to really capitalise on opportunity. It was disappointing. Steve, where did Arsenal go wrong on Saturday, or Mikel Arteta go wrong on the weekend?
Well, look, I mean, I'll go from the beginning. And my first thoughts when I see the starting lineup, I wasn't happy with it.
What was
at
that?
The beginning?
Yeah.
Well, after the City result, I we all change our views, a little bit as the hours and the time goes on, and we see games, and because we react differently, don't we? And then we come up with a balanced opinion at the end. But as I said, right at the beginning, I just felt that I wanted to see Saka out on the right instead of Madueke, and I wanted to see Trossard out instead of Martinelli. Now, normally I wouldn't have minded, seeing them because they both done well, but there was this nagging feeling in me that it wasn't the right thing to do. I felt that after the City result, that I kept saying to people, maybe it was me getting overexcited, but I was saying to people, Arsenal now should be looking at this as a cup final, this game, because if we win this, right, we go 10 points in front, or 9 points in front, sorry, and that's massive at this time of the season. So when I was watching what I was watching, I was pissed, mate, because that weren't nowhere near like a team looking like that they wanted to go and win the game. It was the first half was awful. It was terrible. There was nothing. There was nobody. I can't say a name of any player who I can give any praise to. I suppose like the defenders, they'd have had nothing to do. But going forward, just thought we was, we was lacking something, and that was from everywhere, from Gorikis to Madueke. Look, he was all right, but he weren't great. Although he was looked like he was going to beat his defender a few times. I never really thought that anything was going to come. I had that feeling from him, and it was the same with Martinelli. And again, our finishing was a little bit, off. I mean, Martinelli missing that goal, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, how he missed that. And I kept, as soon as, I mentioned Trossard should have started at the beginning. That's Trossard, that's 1-0.
He eats that up.
And then you don't know where it goes from there. You can go on and win 2-0, 3-0, and then, it all opens up, because then Forest have to come out a little bit. And we all know what Forest did the whole game. They just sat back and just we had to try and play and get random, and we couldn't. And yeah, it was awful, and it's hard to pick out a certain player. I can't praise anybody. I thought it was, but I said, yeah, look, I have to take the defenders away on Raya because they literally had nothing to do through the whole game. But it was pass. Forest just set up two blocks of 5 and 4, or 6 and 4, and we couldn't break them down, and it was simple as that, and it frustrated us.
What was the answer? I know there was some poor performances, but what could have changed? What could Mikel Arteta have done in that game to change things up a little bit?
Well, I just think he could have. I would have changed the whole 3 at half time. That's what I was saying to people. Because they wasn't doing anything. Gorikis wasn't doing anything. You had 3 players on him, and that was that. And normally you think, well, okay, especially if you go by the Chelsea game, Gorikis had 3 people nearly round in then, but he left space for the other 2 on the flanks. The other 2 got their space. Madueke got his space. Martinelli did get his space, but they literally did nothing with it. They literally, Madueke had loads of the ball. Do you know what I mean? And he ran at players plenty of times, but it was all pad apart. And Martinelli the same. Little bit of space. It was pad apart. I see people. I see someone's markings of out of 10 for the game. Worst player someone gave was Ben White. I thought he was our best player.
Ben White weren't our worst player. He's part of the defence. He did a shot on goal.
he was
he was playing right back, but still.
But he was getting forward. He was putting Madueke in 2 or 3 times. Do you know what I mean? He was he got a couple of crosses in, to literally nobody. No one was on the end of it. And I would have brought on Jesus at half time. Even when he come on, he didn't really do anything anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like it changed. So, but I would have done that. I think Arteta got it wrong at the beginning. Yeah, look, I don't want to get into this type of Arsenal fan who's going to sort of start slagging them off because I see it under the Invincibles. We drew against some poor teams against the Invincibles. I remember watching it, Portsmouth, Charlton. Sorry about that, kids. I know, but it was Charlton and
no, I remember that
Birmingham.
Neil Redfern scored the equaliser, I think it was.
Yeah, literally the Invincibles. Arsenal fans out there, good team draw against lesser sides at the bottom. The Invincibles did. So remember that. But yeah, it was poor, mate. Saka was probably the clearest, not the clearest. Martinelli was the clearest chance. Still can't work out how he missed that. But Saka, good save from the goalkeeper. I must admit, I thought that was in. Saka was, probably, 4'10", and he's getting up for an header. Do you know what I mean? And it sort of, he did cause problems when he come on. So maybe he could have come on earlier. We may get to talk about the penalty in a bit. I can give you views on that when it comes about. But yeah, just slow, dull, and I don't want to see it again, mate. Don't want to see it again.
Yeah, no, it was Paolo Di Canio, and not being funny, Steve. That was probably Charlton's best team. Because they're going to roll some names off for Garth will know. Dean Kiley in goal.
This has been another season ticket for Charlton. This has been another season ticket for him.
Right back. Yeah. Chris Perry and Mark Fish. Yeah.
Mark Fish. God, that's a name you ain't heard in a long time. Mark
they
Fish.
Still at the moment, a goldfish goes past on the screen, and when it goes past, it goes,
Chris Perry, was that the Wimbledon fella? Ended up at Spurs. Was that Chris Perry?
Chris Perry, decent. Chris Perry
decent
was just
player.
on the verge of the England squad. He was a good defender. Yeah, Wimbledon.
Going to be Konchesky.
Helga Hreiderson. Yeah. Scotty Parker, Matty Holland, centre midfield. Graham Stewart on the right.
Do you know that's how good football was back then? Matty Holland and Scott Parker now. That's not even that far off a good European spot centre midfield. Scotty Parker and Matty Holland. You know what I mean?
Scott Parker was England international. Matty Holland was Ireland international, but he was good.
It's not like super good, but that's a decent centre midfield partnership. That is.
Jensen, Klaus Jensen, ended up going to Fulham in the end. Decent player, but his career was cut short by injury. Up top, Paolo Di Canio and Jonathan Johansson. Mate, that's a decent.
JJ. Mate.
I just want to say, those of you saying I've got this disease called Arsenalitis, I do slag Arsenal off when they need to be. All right.
Yeah, but we just do it behind closed doors most of the time.
But it's just that it's not often when Arsenal play like this. But when they do, they get my wrath. So remember that.
No, but you know what it is? I think sometimes you're quite conscious of the current climate and how negative can be when you just like we did lose. Like when you drop points in the Arsenal sphere, it's rough out there. It's like people are panicking. People don't know how to act. They don't know how to handle themselves. They're just acting stupid. So hopefully, if we get this over the line, they can calm down in future. Like, because there's the only reference point they have is just 2022-23, when at this point here we were top of the league and we didn't win it. So they're panicking. So everything they're trying to compare it, but it's different. It's different. Go on, Goff. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to throw out what I said to you earlier. The worst thing is for fans who are going overboard here, like losing their mind a bit, you actually gained a point.
Yeah.
You didn't get 3 points, but you actually went 1 point further ahead of Man City and Villa than you were before the weekend, and that's a glass half.
And we both expected to beat. We expected Man City to beat Man United, and we expected Arsenal to beat Nottingham Forest. So it would have been 6
level.
Would have been
exactly.
7. We're better off.
I know that's
Weirdly.
not what you want to hear after a really dead football game where against a team, but that's the glass half full mentality, isn't it? Like you actually are 1 point more.
You look for little positives, don't you? Little positives.
I mean, what did Wayne Rooney say?
We now got a better goal difference than Man City.
What did Wayne Rooney say? He said, I think Arsenal will look back at this and see it as a good point. And even at the time, I was like, oh, really?
Well, I see it as a good point
and
now.
then the next day, what happened?
the
Everton beat Aston Villa. So he was right.
Yeah.
It is a good point. It is a good point. It could have been worse. We've lost to Sean Dyche's teams. Everton being one of them. Late goal from Damari Gray Damari Gray. We've been there, mate. It's rough. We are in a better place. We're 15 points better off than we were last season. We're 15 points better off than we were last season. So, happy days. Steve, the penalty. There's a lot made of Olaina, and the handball. For me, it was one of them at first where I was like, So I think I've been opposite to what everyone else was. The more and more I'm watching it and I'm listening to what they're saying, I agree with what Arteta's saying in terms of it don't match. Now, am I gutted and shouting from the rooftops that it's not a penalty? No, I'm not. Because I think it's just one of them ones where it can be given, it might not be. But I'm not going to say it wasn't a penalty because when you listen to what they say, that they say that he tried to keep it in with his arm and it went off for a corner anyway. And I'm like, well, that don't run with me. It doesn't matter that it went off for a corner anyway. It doesn't matter. You attempted to stop the ball from going out with your arm. It was one of them ones where you're not thinking, and he's tried to hook it and he's hit his arm. And if it was a penalty, I can't see why there would be any complaints from them. I know what Sean Dyche is saying, but if Arsenal gave away that penalty, I'll be like, I'll be fuming because I'll be fuming at the defender for putting his arm there, for making that movement. But yeah, it's one of them ones where it can be given, it can be not. I think in Europe that's given as a penalty. In the Premier League, it might not be. Steve, what was your take on it?
First of all, when Saturday evening, I was going back and forth on it. First off, when I see it, I was like, "Oh no, I don't think that's a penalty." And then when they started slowing it down, and they was showing it on Sky, and I'm like, they were saying the rules as he was doing it. I'm saying, well, it is a penalty, isn't it?
That's all right.
It has him on the arm. But I'm like you. I'm not sort of like, putting my hands up there and go, oh, I'm not doing it on that for some reason because I could see it. I can see it both ways. I really can see it both ways. I mean, I said to someone yesterday, I said, if I take away whatever the rule is, and just the situation of how that is, I don't want to see that given. I have to be honest with myself. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see penalties given for that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a goal scoring opportunity. No one got chopped down. No one got hurt. If anything, it was a coming together of the two Forest players. And yeah, there is a possibility that Anderson did push him, and he's gone into his arm, and it's hit him. And it's not like he's in the centre of the goal. Personally, if it's not a penalty, it's not a penalty, and I ain't going to moan about it.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
I must be honest with myself and say I don't want penalties given for that. I have to say that. If it's giving up the other end, I'm saying, it's just ridiculous. The rules, it's just, what's going on here. I'd be saying that if it was Arsenal. So for me, back and forth. But at the end of the day, it could have gone either way. I think my overriding theme was I don't want penalties given for that. So I think I come to the conclusion that it shouldn't have been a penalty, and I'm not I'm not going to, think about it anymore. I won't be looking at the end of the season saying, "Oh, we should have had a penalty. We could have dropped. We could have looked."
I wasn't even thinking about it the next day.
No,
it was just like...
exactly. So that's where I am on it. But the rules do say that if he comes off like your arm now, it's a penalty. But was his arm in a natural position? I don't know. But no, look, for me, it's not a penalty. I ain't got no problem with it not being a penalty. And like I said, yeah, I've seen a lot more things this season where it should have been a penalty and it's not been given, or things that, vice versa. But yeah, for me, I've gone to probably, if it was 100%, I've probably just gone 53%, not a penalty. So,
Garth, you want to say something?
No, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at you two. For two blokes telling me that they're not upset about this not being a penalty and you're not whinging about it, you've had 12 and a half minutes telling me why it should have been a penalty, both of you. Never a penalty
no,
in a million years.
I don't think it should have been.
Never a penalty in a million years. It is shoulder first, natural position of the arm. PGMLO has explained it perfectly why it's not a penalty. Honestly, still in a teacup. And fair play, Anna, how you pronounce it, for his post on Instagram to really get other Arsenal fans' skin. Did you see him? He put up an Eddie Guerrero. He put up an Eddie Guerrero, a lie, a cheat, and still, and the Arsenal fans have lost their mind at him.
Yeah, no, he's really good on social media, actually. He's the one that usually takes the camera into the change rooms, isn't he?
Yeah. I agree entirely with Sean Dyche, yeah, and fair play to him as well, because he looked Mike Keown in the face and was like, "You're chatting nonsense, bruv." You give penalties for that. Like Steve saying, game's gone, mate. Game's gone. You can't. That's not. I don't want penalties like that for any team. And yeah, however you're trying to rationalise it, it's not. Like I say, if I've only seen it once, and what I saw, and with the explanation from PGMOL saying shoulder first, arm in natural position, yeah, it's never a penalty. So yeah, like fair play to the rest of the centre. And again, these are one of them decisions where I feel like these VAR needs to quicken their step and get that, like, it's blatant. It's not, get it out there and say no immediately. So, I'll ask you boys though. What I was thinking earlier is this over the last few seasons, is this game one of the games that you end up losing 1-0 with a dirty, jammy goal at the end, and you get no points?
It was Everton. It was Everton last season. He was manager at Everton last season, wasn't he? Or was it the season before? It was last season.
Season before. Yes, last season. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, he was manager at Everton last season. We lost to them around Christmas. Was it 1-0? Or it might have been the season before. We lost them. No, season before in the actual title race with Man City. Yes, because last season we weren't on it. Yeah, season before, around Christmas, we lost to these 1-0. It was a Damari Gray, something like that. Absolute weldy from the edge of the box. Tough game. He scored on like the 68th minute, and we couldn't score past them. It was one of those games.
That's one of them little silver lines you've got to look at. That's what I was thinking when I saw the result. Is this one of the games that in previous seasons you didn't even get the point, and then you lost the title by 1 or 2 points? You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think there's. I think it's a bad day at the office for you boys. It happens. Steve's already said it. Invincibles, you drew enough games there. Man United. I mean, I've seen Man United win titles after getting thumped 6-1s, 5-3s. You know what I mean? Like etc. So yeah, I don't think. I know it's easy to say, but the Arsenal fans, if you're listening, don't be too worried about this one. You know what I mean? If it becomes a pattern and over the next 3, 4, 5 games, you're not picking up points that you should, that's when you start worrying. I don't think that's going to happen either, to be quite honest with you. But,
I think that's where my frustrations come in. There's been no pattern so far this season.
Yeah,
Arsenal seem to have answered every question. Yeah, we went through a bad patch. Every team has a bad patch. But in that bad patch, we drew to Chelsea, we lost to Aston Villa. And that was it. That was it. So, and that was the bad patch. Like, it could be a lot worse.
Neither bad results. Either Chelsea on any given Sunday at the moment are world beaters to bottom feeders. You know what I mean? Like, they literally, you never know what's coming out of them. And Villa, good form. And I'd say that again, even if you, I mean, I hope you lose next weekend, obviously, but even if you draw losing against Man United, you've got to take the game in isolation. New manager bounce, new ideas coming in. Man United on a high after the Man City game. You know what I mean? Like, even if you do, and Man City are now 4 points behind you, don't let it get into your psyches. I know it's easy to say, but don't, because that feeds, like, you think it doesn't, but it does. You can see that these players do read social media by the fact that Martinez had a go at Paul Scholes for saying that he couldn't handle.
Of course Haaland. They do. Of course
so
they
do. Don't like chin up, chest out. You know what I mean? You're still top of the league. You're ripping up in Europe. You're in 4 competitions still. You know what I mean? Like, you have no reason at all as Arsenal fans to be sweating at the moment. Like you should be enjoying this for everything it's worth, because in modern football we're not seeing dynasties at the moment, really. Like at the moment in the Premier League, Man City have fallen apart. Those dynasties, it feels like it might not be around for a little while. You know what I mean? So
good riddance for it.
Yeah, so enjoy
training, unless it wants to be Arsenal's dynasty.
I was going to say, it's 20 years of Arsenal. Yeah, enjoy it for what it is, which is you're the best team in England right now. Technically, you're the best team in the Champions League right now, considering the points you've got. You know what I mean? Enjoy it, what you got. You know, like it's.
Yeah. I tell you what, as well, I'd look at our fixture list for the next 16 games, and it was like my eyebrows raised, and I was like, "Cool, that's not bad, is it?"
I look at every game at the moment and think,
indeed.
That's a tough one, but because that's what I think the Premier League is. Like, people keep saying that the Premier League's got weaker, but Arsenal are better than last season. Man City are better than last season. Man United are better than last season. The 3 clubs that came up are better than the 3 clubs that went down last season. Like, Sunderland haven't lost at home.
Yeah, again, I want to debate a fan on it. I really want to find a fan who's saying this about, like, I want to debate like a Paddy Murphy or something. It's like, no, the league's not got worse.
Yeah.
The teams that you think are rubbish have got better.
Yeah, and Liverpool have fallen off, but in the same way that Man City fell off last season.
Yeah, Liverpool have fallen off. That's it. The rest of what it is, and you saw it coming in last season with the Forest getting up there and the Palace winning the FA Cup. These teams are getting better and better. And do you know what? Is it PSR? Is it financial fair play and things where clubs can't go and hoard play, like apart from Chelsea, obviously? Is it these rules that are coming in? Maybe, I don't know, but whatever it is, the teams that us as top 6 fans think we should be beating on the regular, that ain't it no more. And it hasn't been for a while when you really look at it. It ain't that. Every team in the Premier League now can give you a run for their money pretty much. Like if you're asleep at the wheel, if you slip up one game, they're going to be on you. They've technically got better.
I think we're also seeing some of those players that clubs may have got in the past. They're going to the Sunderlands, the Brightons, so they're getting these £25 million. You weren't paying these clubs weren't paying £25 million for a player, for a centre midfielder, relatively unknown back in the day. They're paying £25 million for a player, and that player is a good level. It's will be one of the top youngsters in France. They're now playing for a team that's just come up from the Championship. They're the levels that are being raised. Like, they're bringing in the better budgets, better wages, mean better players are going to those smaller teams. And the bigger teams aren't taking the risk on those players because they can't give them enough game time. So what they're doing is they're allowing these smaller clubs to buy them and then go, I'd rather just see him there for 2 seasons. Cool, 70 mil. I'm going to pay 70 mil because I know we can do it in the Premier League now, rather than paying the 25 mil. And it might not work. I've probably got to loan him out to get him the game time he needs, because the pressure at the top to get results, you ain't got time to develop those players the same way you used to be able to. So, I think the argument's nonsense. I think the Premier League is getting better, and it's a great point. Crystal Palace won the FA Cup. Newcastle won the Carabao Cup the season before. Like, these clubs are no mugs. Newcastle was spoken about as having one of the best midfielders in the league over the last few seasons, in Giramesh, Joe Linton, and what's his name? Tonelli. Yeah. So, and that's Newcastle, a team that just about
Liverpool and Manchester City fans, okay, isn't it? It's mainly it's Liverpool and Man City, because they haven't won the league and it's going to be someone else. The league must be worse. No, it's not worse. It's just someone took advantage of you being shit.
Yeah. And it's honestly right saying
and that's the football cycle. And that's how the football cycle goes around since the dawn of time.
Yeah, it's sour grapes. You know what I mean? Like, listen, some people will pull me up and say, but you say you don't enjoy football as much as you used to, but that's a different conversation. I have an issue with individual players being robots these days. That's a completely different conversation. This isn't the same thing.
In football teams, it's more about being a cog in the machine, as opposed to different. Being a maverick. They don't like maverick players.
We could turn around and say to Man City fans that, you know, the reason why the league's so bad, it's so poor, is because of what Pep did. The way you changed the style of football, and everyone started to copy you. So I would have that argument. I would agree with that argument, Steve. 100%.
Yeah,
It's definitely
100% agree with it. Yeah. And what the funny thing is I was watching Pep or obviously Man United, Man City, and I was like, is he trying to go? He's now going the other way.
No,
That's
he
what
is.
he does.
No, he is. He is.
Yeah,
He's
no,
throwing
what he
long
does.
balls over the top. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's mixing it
exactly.
up more.
Direct football. What Pep's genius is going against the grain of what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Like that's what he does. So now that everyone's playing tiki-taka Pep football, he's like, oh, balls over the top, direct
just
football.
ain't quite got the players for it.
Exactly.
Right,
And it's hard to do it. Quickly on that, did you hear Richard Keys talking about Pep?
Oh no!
Did anyone see that?
No.
No.
I did. I see.
Did you see it, Steve? He said he's definitely gone at the end of the season. I guarantee it. Don't be surprised if he's gone before the weekend.
What?
Don't know about that.
I know. Yeah, I don't believe it, obviously, because that would be.
Who's like? We move on to the transfer stuff. Steve, who do you think Manchester City will get in as Pep Guardiola's replacement? Is there a shortlist out there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people. You know, there's the names I've heard. Obviously, the obvious, but you know, the Xabis and the Alonsos, other people are saying.
Enrique, obviously, the connection with.
Yeah, but you know, people are gonna write about that stuff. I mean, personally, what I've heard from sources that you know that are very close to Man City, not too far away from it, is that it's Cesc Fabregas is the man they want to take over.
I don't need to be seeing that.
Yeah.
Because what Keys was saying, Steve, was if Pep was to go this week, it'd be Maresca coming in. Is he a long-term option, or is that just if he was to leave early doors, Maresca would take over?
I mean, maybe early doors or something, just as if he left in January or something, or in the next week, apparently, what he thinks. I don't see Maresca as being a man.
I don't see it either, mate. Yeah, I don't see it.
Not at all. If I'm sitting in like a boardroom at, you know, Man City, if I'm Kiki, then and I said Kiki, not Kinky. Kiki.
Oh, steady, fella. It's past the watershed, but my ears don't need that.
You can be both, mate. You know what I mean? Don't be ashamed.
But yeah, I'm not thinking Maresca. My God, no.
It was such a random line that Richard Keys was throwing out. It's purely for what happened, which is the clip's gone a bit viral. You know what I mean? It was purely for that, but I thought I'd just bring it up. You know what I mean? So
that's the reason why he says things, mate. I think so.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
go viral. So, but he's that type. He's turned into that type of like.
I used to like Richard Keys, but he's a proper like. He's a dickhead, basically, isn't he?
He's like, stuff clicks now.
Yeah, it's just a click.
Yeah,
just a click. But I mean, I can see Fabregas. I can see.
Yeah, I can see that.
See why they'd want him. He's been, you know, he's been good for Como. He's been where he falls into that. He's very. He knows football. You know, he's very astute in. You know, he plays different ways. He would know the Premier League and stuff, and I think he's someone that's respected. You know, or people would respect him. So yeah, if you look at it again, it's a long-term thing. It's not a one-off thing. If you're bringing in Fabregas in, you've got to give him time. Whether Man City are like that, I don't know. But I think with the players that they've got at the moment, I think that type of manager would be good for them. I can't see Alonso going there with the Liverpool connections, and the Xabis and the Enriques. I mean, they'll you know, people will talk about them, but again, I can't see it. But yeah, it's. It'll be interesting, mate. It'll be interesting to see who gets the nod in the end. But I've also heard in Man City that, you know, they are looking at another defender in the window, which doesn't surprise me. I'm not feeling Mark Gay as much as what a lot of other people are. I like Mark Gay. I think he's excellent. I think he's someone who will start for England. So I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he'll do well for Man City. But people are talking about him coming in, and you know, we've got him there now. Arsenal got to watch it. All this nonsense. So I can't see he's going to make that much of a difference. But yeah,
in the short term, he will, Steve. In the short term, because their defence at the moment is shred, isn't it? Like they've got no John Stones.
I just don't think he'll improve it. That
in the long term, in the long term, I don't see him being a starter for him. I really don't. I don't see him being better than Diaz or I can't think of his name now. My brain's gone completely.
Mark Way.
Gvardiol.
Yeah, I don't see it being that. I think he, in the short term, because everyone's injured, he definitely improves them now. But I don't see him long term being. Listen, I've said before, I don't think Mark Gay is that great. I think he's decent. I think he's a solid. He's a solid English centre back. That's what he is.
Good English type centre back. I think that's what I read the other day. Is basically someone saying Mark Gay, he good signing, but it doesn't solve Man City's problems because inevitably he won't be a starter once the team come back in, and there is a problem with the team without him as well. So we will see.
20 million is a good, 20 million. I don't blame them.
Deal. Yeah, it's a banging deal. I have heard rumours of 350 grand a week though, Steve. Is there any truth to that rumour?
Yeah, I heard 300.
Yeah,
300 is it?
Yeah, bonuses and stuff. Could be 350, but 300, 350. Yeah,
not sure about that one. Yeah. Not sure about that one. That's a little. Yeah, that's a little. But look, fair play to him. Fair play to City.
That's the more you think of it. I mean, I've just starting to process that money. That's it. It's a lot, isn't it? God.
Yeah. When you consider him, it was probably on what 60, 70 at Palace. I can't imagine he was on 100 at Palace. I really can't. I don't think they pay 100 grand a week at Palace.
There's not a player at Arsenal who's over 280. So him coming in as a future backup player.
Yeah.
I just realised Haaland scored 1 goal in his last 6 games.
Yeah, he's been really dry recently. But
that's where your problems lie.
If you look at Haaland, though, Haaland has dry spells. It's just when he's not in a dry spell, he's banging 2-3 a game. Yeah. I think Messi's problems are deep. They're deep. Just quickly on that, like their attack stunted. They're missing De Bruyne so badly.
So bad,
so
and you can see that in what was it? Yeah. Was it the treble-winning season where he came back from an injury and won in the league?
He played 18 games and he got like 22 goal contributions. I put him in my team this season. 18 games, Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne killed us. As I said earlier, West Ham, Newcastle, and Everton are all interested in Girona fullback Brooke Norton Cuffy, former Arsenal Hale End boy who was on loan at Millwall and Lincoln. Had 2 very good loan spells. A fee within the region of around £20 million is being touted for the England under-21 international. There was another story. Where's it gone?
I've got one here that came into me today. That someone told me who, people are watching now, believe this because it's probably come from our strongest United source. So Garth might be interested in it. I was told that Manchester United representatives were in attendance at Real Sociedad versus Barcelona yesterday. Sources they told me that a conversation took place regarding the possibility of Marcus Rashford returning to United at the end of the 2025-26 season. Details of those discussions are not known yet, but I'll keep you up to date if I hear any more information than that. But the same source, again interesting, also mentioned to me that Manchester United hold a strong interest in Spanish international Mikel Oyarzabal, who's 28.
Is he only 28 Oyarzabal? Cool. He feels like
people were saying to me today that Oyarzabal, he's about 33 and he's 35. Anyway, he's 28. But he's quite a prolific goal scorer. He's got a large release clause, but I'm told, like most release clauses that are in Spain or Portugal, they will listen. But he's got a €75 million release clause as it sits. They couldn't confirm to me, the people, whether the interest was directly linked to the visit to Sociedad, but I was told that it's worth noting the trip to Spain was like mentioned to my source, and his immediate reaction was something that he was told before Christmas presser with Human Amorim, and that there was interest in Oyarzabal. So also said that Aston Villa were another club that were closely monitoring El Asabel. This was before Donard Malin completed his move to Roma, so Villa now could renew their interest in him. Both more likely to happen in summer. But yeah, definitely one to keep an eye
on. Any other transfer bits you got there, Steve?
Not really, not in a minute. Chelsea, Jeremy Jacquet looks like that's I don't know if that's done or gonna go ahead. There's nothing really from Arsenal or Liverpool at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty quiet at the minute.
Alexander Zinchenko moved to join Ajax after a pretty underwhelming spell at Nottingham Forest. I don't know what happened there because it didn't feel like he had really much opportunity. But
how many games did he play, Zinchenko, for Forest? It doesn't feel like he played many at all. We had 5. He got 5 games for Forest.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A very poor season for Forest.
Yeah. What about that Lasabel, Garth? Is he someone that
weirdly enough, Steve, I've always thought he's a Premier League player, Mikel Lasabel.
Yeah.
It isn't what Man United personally I want to see at Man United at the moment because he's a left winger, really. You know what I mean? Inside forward, left foot. Yeah, I need to see centre midfielders coming in. Neves is the rumour at the moment, isn't it? There's this mystery midfielder that Ben Jacobs was talking about, but I'm sure it was just clickbait. It's now Ruben Neves is the name that's going around. 20 mil because his contract's up in the summer.
20 mil.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of a different Ruben Neves, the one that's been in the Saudi Arabia for 2 years?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that geezer. Yeah,
who didn't have legs in the first place.
Yeah, it's mental. It's not even getting to I think of Wolves players. You know what I mean?
20 mil.
I mean, there's talk about like. Yeah, go on, mate. So yeah, of course.
I'm just going to finish that. I like him. I think he's a Premier League player. I think for me, solid squad option. You know what I mean? He's nothing super special or anything, but as for Marcus Rashford, bring him home.
Well, that's another story.
Bring him home.
Les Mis there. Bit Les Mis on
Julian Alvarez.
Well done, Steve. Excellent work, mate. I like that.
Julian Alvarez's time at Atletico Madrid seems to be uncertain after there were talks that they wanted to bring in Goncalo Ramos from PSG,
really?
the Portuguese international.
Ramos, but
are apparently very, very interested in him.
How bad is Alvarez doing out there? Because Alvarez, for me, is a better forward than.
Alvarez is doing well.
And they paid like 80 mil for him, didn't they, as well?
Yeah.
Big money, weren't it?
A bit more than that,
yeah.
You were 90.
Oh, I'll tell you. It's 7 goals in 20 games.
That's not bad. I mean,
Ramos, 10 goal contributions in the Liga in 20 games.
Yeah, I don't think Goncalo Ramos, and I like Goncalo Ramos. I think he's a solid striker. I don't think he does better than that out there.
You know someone, I think PSG, I mean, one player I've been talking to a few Spurs fans over the last, especially since, they got turned over by West Ham, is that, the sort of feedback I'm getting over Kolo Muani, and they just can't believe that PSG paid like 80 mil nearly for him.
I've never rated him.
Never rated him.
Never. One of the
when he was getting hyped around the World Cup, I was like, what are people seeing? What are people seeing? I don't rate the guy. I think he's just a player. Like he's just another body.
He's done nothing at Spurs, has he? He's done literally nothing at Spurs. Kolo Muani. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah. And this is the player that some Arsenal fans were screaming that Arsenal needed to make a transfer in January last summer.
Man United wanted him a couple of years ago. I couldn't believe it. Look.
I don't want him.
Well, Spurs
was just bringing him in because he's a body. Like,
no, never been elite. Sorry, Steve. What are you saying? Spurs?
Yeah, no. Sorry. No, I was just going to say that Spurs fans were. I mean, this isn't a Thomas Frank's position. I would put anyway. They were up in arms about have Thomas Frank's substitutions, and they took off Matthias Tell, who's not sort of like lit up the type of paper at Spurs, but against West Ham, he was apparently one of their best players, and he looked like one of the most dangerous players. And I think Frank was like 25 minutes ago brought on Coleman.
Frank's left him out of the Champions League squad.
He's dropped.
That Garth. That was like what I was leading on to.
Yeah.
He's dropped Tell for Solanke, isn't he?
Put him in.
Yeah.
Really
for Solanke,
yeah.
Another weird signing.
But mate, not being funny. Okay. Tottenham fans, they feel like Tell's been playing better. I saw Tell get an opportunity of near enough an open goal the other day, and he missed it. Like again. What I don't think Tottenham fans are understanding, is their squad is so bang average. Yeah, it's barely a top 10 squad. And I'm being generous with that. Because if you go through every single squad from the top to the top 10, where does Tottenham's really actually stand? And if you go player for player, outside of the two centre-backs, which I think are so overrated anyway, and I feel like people starting to clock on Romero
is all right.
People starting to clock on to Romero that he's a bit of a bosher, likes to throw his weight about, but he makes mistakes. And Van der Ven's picking up on that as well. He's making mistakes. The two centre-backs, I think there was a stat that came out the other day. They are like top 3 for most mistakes in Europe leading to goals. Awful. Yeah. It's so bad. And it's those two. And when you watch them week by week, even if you're watching highlights, you see a goal, it's usually coming from one of them two. Whether it's either rash defending or they've gone in for a bit too high up or he's out of position. Yes, they've got potential, or Romero's gone past potential. But like they make mistakes. Then you go to their fullbacks, Pedro Porro. What is he? Again, he's all right. He's all right. Udoji had a good season when he first came in, good going forward, not great going back, strong, could do something with him. How good is he? Don't let me get into Jed Spence because we could be here for a while.
On Matthias Tell,
goalkeeper's got a clanger in him.
I
don't read the goalkeeper either.
No,
did you see the goal to see the other day? Awful defending. Awful.
But Matthias Tell, I said this at the time when they signed him. Like for me, Bayern Munich don't let players at 20 years old go for 30 mil if they're any good. B, when they loaned him to Spurs, he had a 50 mil option to buy, and then Spurs went sent it back, and then Bayern let him go for 30.
They paid 10 mil for him as well.
Tells you everything you need to know about Matthias Tell.
It seemed like they was happy to get anything, Garth.
Happy to get rid of him. Matthias Tell is one of those players. He's got the attributes, and I'm sure in training he's doing bods. You know what I mean? Rapping it. He ain't got the game, man. He ain't got it. Like, I could be wrong. He's only 20. Maybe they'll grow. But
Joshua Zirkzee was a product of Bayern Munich, and he got released. He got let go. There was a price tag on him, and it's there. Barcelona, Bayern Munich are good at producing a standard that will be a professional footballer that will go to many clubs.
Like the young kid, like the 17-year-old. Is it Carl? Like that type of.
I mean, he looks all right, but look. They had Angelo Stella, quality player. Yeah. They ain't even close to him. They're not even close to him. Then you go to Tottenham's midfield. I like Palina, but he's very one-dimensional. He's a bosher. That's it. Bentancur, I think he's overrated. Squad player at best. Yeah. And then who else they got? Who else did they got?
Javi Simmons.
He's their best player. He's their best player. Their wingers, don't get me on to Kudus. I think he's bang overrated. I think he's one of the most overrated. The most overrated winger. When Arsenal fans start talking about Kudus, it actually angers me because I'm like, do you watch him or you just watch his highlights? Because he's no product. No product. Not shots, not assists. It's not enough. For what you're talking about, 50 mil, not enough. Left wing, what?
I don't mind Maddison and Kulusevski.
Odegaard.
I don't mind them. They're all right.
Odegaard.
Maddison, those injured a lot as well, isn't he?
They're Twitter signings.
I feel like Maddison when we're talking about the 10s, Maddison is that last one. Like, he's good. He's not rubbish or anything, but he's not.
No,
he ain't
right.
He ain't Bruno. You know what I mean? He ain't.
No.
He ain't Silva, Bernardo Silva. No. He isn't. Who Chelsea got in that position? He ain't even Xavi Simons.
Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer. You know what I mean?
And
you start going down the teams, and then you get Maddison, and like he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah. And I think that's what you start doing with Tottenham's squad. You start going. You start looking at it and going, actually, is that a better squad? No, it's not. Oh, is that better than Bournemouth squad? I don't know whether it is. Is that better than the Brighton squad? I don't know whether it is. So you start going to there, toe to toe. Are the players better than any other squads? And when you break it down, you're like, they are maybe on par, but I can't say they are categorically better. And when you look at that, you talk about 8th to 10th. They're 8th to 10th.
But they're always 8th to 10th. They're 8th to 10th or worse. They might have the odd season where they might push for a top 4 or sneak in. This is why I had a conversation today. You know, we've got to have this conversation now. We've got to stop this top 6 conversation.
Yeah.
We've got to do like whenever we're posting.
Who's the highest earners? Who's the most successful club? They're your top 4.
Hashtag top 4. Hashtag top 4. Everybody is watching tonight. I'm pleading you. Every post or every podcast you're on, just finish it with hashtag top 4 because I've had enough of it. I've had enough of this. I mean, Villa, if anything, top 5. You can maybe, you know,
the top 6 was introduced so we could have Tottenham in there.
Yeah,
the top 4. I mean,
it's the historic clubs. It should just be like this. Is what I have with people a lot, like because the historic club, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. They're the 3 teams in England. That's it. Chelsea, new boys. Man City, new boys, oil money, both of them teams. Spurs, get in the bin. Don't want to hear about it. Like, you're nowhere near it. Never have been. We win a trophy every 20 years. Think you're a big club. Anyway, you get me started, Steve. You ain't got the time, mate. You ain't got the time. Before we jump off, can I just, did you boys see the elbow in the third? Well, you saw that. So, second, it's in the Welsh third division. Tirfa Bay versus Portsmouth. The geezer's been arrested. Tom Taylor, you're a disgrace, mate. You're a disgrace. Yeah, disgusting. I'm not. Like, it's outrageous. I don't. Did you not see it, Steve? Geezer. Yeah, brother.
I'll have a look. I'll have a look when we get off.
I'll send it to you, Steve. They're running up for a penalty, and this one of the defenders looks at this geezer on the opposition side and pointed the elbow, mate, into his face as he's and brother knocks him unconscious. Just no need for it. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen on a football pitch. And we played Sunday League in London and Dartford. You know,
I watched someone get headbutted, and that shuddered from my body.
So it was shocking. But I just wanted to throw out there that the Welsh police have arrested him and they're charging him, and he's been dropped from his team, suspended from football permanently.
Surely, get the sack for that.
Well, something we did mention, mate. I mean, did you any thoughts on the Dello tackle?
Oh, it's a red card. It's a red card.
That. Yeah, it's red. I don't know how that went red.
I'm so glad he never got sent off. You know, I'm praying, please don't get sent off.
I was meant to say quickly before we go, Steve. I was meant to say that's the thing. Things fell into place for Man United against City on Saturday. Yeah. That's a red card all day, and it's 11 minutes in. Another day, that's our game done. You know what I mean? And over. Yeah, and we're getting smashed. Oh, mate.
To him, he after that, he was all right. Do you know what I mean? Dello's normally someone
I mean, after you scrape half the geezer's shin off, of course you're going to be all right because you're going to be walking around. Dello's one of them players.
He's such a problem. Like you watch. I said this not so long ago. You watch him. He'll have 3 or 4 good games. You're like, do you know what? He's all right. And then he'll have 6 or 7 stinkers.
How many times I've heard that high pitch? You know what?
He's all right.
And then what happens? He has a clanger.
Yeah, there's a clanger. But I mean, straight red card. I don't know how he got away with it. They said there weren't enough false. I think the way he got away with it is it's a clear, he's going for the ball. He gets to the ball as well. He does get the ball. And Doko puts his leg there where it wasn't there before. There's a lot, but for me, I mean, I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just saying.
I think to be fair play to Doku as well, he got straight up.
And he got up quickly. Yeah. I think Dello is very lucky. It's a straight red I don't know how he got away with it. I really don't, honestly.
Do you think there's a bit of like bit early in the game and it's a massive match and it's on the telly and
yeah,
Surely
I
be
don't know. I don't know because you just never know with wrestling. Yeah, you just never know. I just think for them subjectively in that moment there was enough for them to say it's not a red, and probably because we were saying 10 minutes in, a little bit of like they don't want to make a big decision in a big game sort of thing.
And like you said, if Doku gets up quick, then he's not made of it. Then obviously it was, as they were saying, it validates the fact they said there's not enough on it. It was more of a graze as opposed to a stab. But for me, studs up that high,
it's disgusting. Yeah. There has to be a red. It has to be. But
all right, that is all we have time for. Thank you for joining us tonight, Garth.
Pleasure as always. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Make sure you go and follow Steve on Twitter. You can go and find him on Steve KS1TV. Go and follow my page on TikTok, Transfer Exchange Show, and Kieran AFC, pushing to that 10K mark. Daily posts. Well, we're getting.
He says he's pushing. He's on 1001, so we're getting there, you know.
I'm on 7 on one.
Just got to push a bit harder.
6-7 on another.
Annoyingly, I'm only a few of 2 million. I'm only a few of 2 million. How many you got? 405. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'll go on. Wait.
Road to 2 million.
Yeah,
only 50 people.
It's quality football content that needs more love. So get on there because it is top
definitely,
quality.
Mate, 100%. Definitely is really good. So
look, sometimes I'm bantering people. Sometimes it's just my opinion. Or most of the times it's my opinion. But yeah, get on there, get involved, and eventually we'll get more people over here because they are actually asking. And I told them, I said, I've had a YouTube channel for about 5 years now, mate. Like,
or maybe we'll
get on YouTube. Yeah, I've been there, mate. Been there.
Maybe me and Garth will make a special appeance over on your TikTok, mate. You know,
I do sometimes, mate. I do sometimes.
We can do a live.
Yeah.
Like I said,
we can pop up one of your boxes.
There's no harm in doing a live instead of doing a show on here. We can just do a live for an hour on there. You actually do get a fair few followers and a fair bit of love off that.
Definitely. I'll tell you something funny about TikTok, but when we get off air, anyway. Live won't want to hear it.
All right. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.